Welcome, advocates, to the 2024 Healthcare Advocate Summit here in Las Vegas, Nevada at beautiful Caesars Palace. How's everybody feeling today? Okay, we're in Las Vegas, and I can still hear the roulette tables. How are we feeling today? There we go, there we go. Thank you all so much for being here. I mean, what a great video, right? That really highlights the importance of you being here and the conversations that we're having. You know, I've seen a lot of really familiar faces since I've been here. Some of you may have noticed that I've changed up my attire a little bit this year. Something more Vegas appropriate, very mindful, very demure. But what I really notice is a lot of new faces, and that's what gets me excited. That's what gets us all excited, because that means that good news really does travel fast. Speaking of travel, is this anybody's first time in Las Vegas? Anybody? Okay, we've got a couple of you here. Very nice, very nice. So I've only been here once previously, and the first thing that I noticed when I arrived is there are slot machines literally everywhere. They're in the airport. They're obviously in the casinos, they're in gas stations, they're probably in bathrooms, which I don't really want to think about. But it kind of got me thinking, you know, there's all these machines everywhere that all do the same thing, right? They have different themes, but they have the same goal. You match up the three symbols and you win big, right? That's all they do. So I started thinking, if this conference were one of those slot machines, what would our symbols be? Would they be lucky number 7? Hearts, okay, heart's a good one. Phenomenal question or answer there. Or maybe the cherries, right? The cherries are pretty popular. I think it would be a letter though. I think it would be the letter C. And I'm going to tell you why. So that first C, very important C, is communication, right? This isn't a conference that encourages quiet reflection unless you're in one of our wellness sessions. We have so many people from so many different industries here. We have inpatient, outpatient, clinical, non-clinical, consulting, specialty pharmacy, foundations. Everyone is here for the same reason, because they want to communicate with you. They want to hear what you have to say. They don't want to just tell you about the latest and greatest that's going on right now. They want to hear what you're actually experiencing in your day-to-day lives, what's actually going to impact your patients. So feel free to speak up. That's what this conference is all about, because your thought or your opinion or just your reaction to anything that happens, that could be the key to a critical barrier that's affecting a practice right now. And that's in your hands. That's all on you to be able to stand up and say, this is what's happening with my patients. This is a barrier. This is what's causing me to spend 20 minutes of every day on the phone trying to figure out what's going on with my patients just to be told that I'm going to get a call back at some point. We all know how to relate to that. So communication is that first very important C. So that brings us to the second C, very, very important C, and that is collaboration. As you saw from the video up here, that is so crucial to what we're doing here. And you can have dozens of conversations. You can talk to so many people, but that can only go so far if it doesn't turn into action. So everybody knows the whole what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas thing. That does not apply here. What happens in Vegas cannot stay in Vegas when it comes to collaboration. Everybody that's around you, everybody sitting shoulder to shoulder with you right now is proof that the industry supports what you're going through, and they want to hear, they want to work with you, they want to find solutions for the betterment of your patients. So when you're in the thick of it, right? When you're sat at your desk and it seems like every therapy needs a prior authorization, and it seems like every copay is just through the roof, and you've got a patient care team that's coming to you saying, hey, what's going on? This patient is traveling 2 hours for an infusion, and we need to know what's up. You're not alone. Everyone around here, everyone has an experience that they can share with you to say, hey, I know what that feels like. I know what it's like to get Teams messages from my doctor or from my nurse or from the clinic saying, hey, what's going on? We need to make a plan here. You are not alone in all of this. So around your necks, you've got these little lanyards. You've got these QR codes. That's your lifeline. Those are your people. In essence, that's your care team. You're there to support that patient, but everyone around here is here to support you. And that's really the key to that collaboration. Now that brings us to the final C, and that's compassion. So obviously compassion for the patient is a given, right? It's healthcare. But I'm really talking more about collaboration, communication, and compassion for each other. Compassion for each other is very crucial, especially when we're trying to collaborate and we're trying to cultivate these new relationships. We're trying to feel things out just like any other relationship. And it's very important to be aware that that's not a linear path, that these relationships, they take a little bit of work. They're going to take continued conversations. They're going to take a lot more effort from both sides. So you may have a conversation with someone about a technology resource, about a pathway that they've developed within their practices. And you could go back next week and sit at your desk and contact them and put a plan in place and boom, you're done. It's that easy. It can be that simple. It just needs somebody to ignite that spark and really let you know that, hey, there's a solution that just maybe wasn't as obvious right out of the gate. Or you can contact this person, you could put a plan in place, and it could all fall apart. And it maybe doesn't go the way that you thought it would go. And you have people angry. You've got patients at the end of this that are really getting the brunt of that impact. So what is that? What do you do? What do you do in that? Do you just cut bait and leave? Do you say, okay, well, I thought this was a good idea. This person, or maybe people on my own care team, it didn't quite follow through, so we just need to leave. Keep going. Compassion for yourself, compassion for your peers, and knowing that sometimes you got to push a little bit, and you got to say, look, that didn't work out, but I remember being at the Healthcare Advocate Summit and speaking to you and feeling passionate about this solution. Maybe we just need to give it another shot. Let's learn from our mistakes. Let's know that sometimes maybe we do have to fail to succeed. And let's try again. Because there was something here, something about this environment, something about these conversations that made you think that these solutions can work for you, that they can be better for your patients, that they can be better for your practice. So keep going, knowing that everyone here is well-meaning. Everyone wants to provide a solution, whether it's somebody from a pharmacy, whether it's one of those tech solutions. Everyone wants to do better, and your ability to come back from something that just hasn't worked and say, look, this didn't pan out how we had hoped, but I believe that this can still work. That compassion in knowing that anyone that you're communicating with here is here because they want to help you do better. They want to help your patients. We're all advocates. Healthcare Advocate Summit, patient advocates, it doesn't matter. You're an advocate for change. You're an advocate for betterment. But that's the thing about slot machines, right? You only win if you get all three. So you can come here and have dozens of conversations. You can talk to every single person in this room. If you go back next week, if you go back to work and you don't connect with these people, if you don't follow through with these conversations, nothing's really going to happen, right? If you are working on something with a patient, or you're working on something with your practice, if you're trying to streamline a revenue cycle, if you're trying to figure out how to manage your buy and bill process, if you're in any of these systems, you meet somebody here that says, I can help you. I know my platform is perfect for you, and that doesn't work, and you walk away, you're never really going to know what that can do for that patient. And that's not really something that you want to be left with, right? Because this experience, these people that are around you today, you feel something, right? When you're out there having muffins, or when you're down in the casino having drinks and, playing whatever games it might be that you're playing, and you're having these conversations, and you're really connecting with people, and you're feeling what they're feeling, that's something that needs to be taken with you into those practices. When you get back, share with people. Say, hey, this is a powerful event. This giant slot machine that we're all sitting in right now has the potential for all of us to win big. If we can just approach it with an open mind, be communicative, collaborate with each other, and know that it's going to take that work. But I believe that everyone here is willing to do that work. So with that, I think there's really only one thing left for us to do on our slot machine, and that's pull the lever.